noticed I was running underneath a truck, an 18-wheeler, and a 4x4 hit me in my head and it split open. Well, what happened was that I was going to get a sixth sense because of that for a certain number of years. It was that combination and the combination of me loving horror movies that made me see all these different things. Um, I wasn't, I wasn't, I didn't get scared at first, because to me it was like, I could see all these things, and at that age, 7 or 8, I thought everybody saw the same thing, so this is just, of course, it's just an overview about what, what happened. What did I see? I saw entities, shape changers, alien type of creatures, ghosts, goblins, demons, you name it, I've seen some very ugly things, some that hurt you, some that don't hurt you, and, back then, everybody would tell me, why didn't you tell anybody? Come on, who's gonna believe you that you saw these things, Yeah, I didn't believe it, so why am I gonna make somebody else believe it, Well, it wasn't until I came to the point where I couldn't sleep anymore. I was like about 10, and I said, you know what, I have to either trap it or find some way to find proof, and I couldn't do that. It wasn't later until I was in middle school when other friends started to see the things that I saw, but the only way they would see them is if I would call them. Now, don't ask me how I did it, but I found a way to call them, and I have this saying, first of all, I want to say that I believe in God and everything. I pray every night, and I read the Bible, and that is great, but, what was I, I'm sorry, I just get nervous. Anyway, yeah, there was a way to call it. So I have this saying, and the saying says that the thing about God is if you call him, he will come. The bad thing is if you call the bad thing, he will also come, and I have these things that I always say to myself, like, I wish there was no monsters. I wish I could tell there's really nothing under the bed or in the closet. I wish that there was things looking at you while you were asleep. I just wish I could, but I can't. Anyways, this is just an introduction of whatever I don't cover right now, because it's a lot. I know I will cover it later, eventually, during the other parts. This is just a part one. I'm trying to get it out there. I've tried it before, and every time I get to like the 7 stories, I stop. I can't do it anymore. But I'm gonna try to do the recordings in the morning. That I can try to go to sleep. Because whenever I talk about this, it takes me 3 days to go to sleep. Now you thinking, come on, when I watch a horror movie, it doesn't take me that long, Well, it's different when you see a movie and when you're actually in a nightmare for, for years and years, Now, I want to tell you something very important. Whatever I saw, it happened during the day, and it happened during the night. It happened every other day, guaranteed, for like 13 or 14 years or more, And all these things, they want to shock you, with fear. When you open the door and somebody comes out and goes, okay, but the things going, are real. How can you not, well, be afraid of something like that? Well, anyway, um, to make a long story short, this is just the end of part one. What made me come out and finally convince myself that there are those things is, like I said before, when it started happening to my friends. So, this is the end of part